Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it is a profound honor to be with you here in Guangzhou, a city that has for centuries embodied openness, exchange, and the meeting of civilizations. Today, as discussions on global governance evolve, we increasingly recognize a truth that can no longer be ignored. The world needs frameworks that respect cultural diversity, promote inclusive development, and embrace the reality that different societies can and should follow multiple models of modernization. For decades, we lived in a largely unipolar world, but now we stand firmly in a multipolar global system where power, ideas, and influence are widely distributed. This shift is not a threat, it is an opportunity to rethink how we cooperate, how we communicate, and how we coexist. In order to seize that opportunity, the world must do several things. First, we must rehumanize humanity. In a time of division, polarization, and dehumanization, we must place dignity back at the center of international relations. Second, we need the humility to listen, truly listen to one another, not to respond or judge. Third, we must unleash the power of cultural diplomacy, because beyond political negotiations and strategic interests, it is culture that builds trust. It is culture that fuels soft power. And it is culture that enables cooperation exactly where formal mechanisms fall short. We must learn to accept and respect the other view, even when it challenges our own assumptions. We should also encourage the dialogue of curiosity, not the dialogue of confrontation, for ultimately, dialogue, empathy, and mutual respect remain the most durable foundations of peace and cooperation. Furthermore, we must celebrate all facets of diversity, not only diversity of identity, but diversity of history, knowledge, and pathways of progress. Global governance today must also confront a rapidly changing technological landscape. Artificial intelligence, biotechnology, quantum computing, and digital governance are transforming our world at a breathtaking speed. These advances offer unprecedented opportunities, but also profound risks. This is why global governance must now extend to data ethics and the moral implications of technology. In other words, we must place moral and ethical questions at the heart of global decision-making. Here in China, a wonderful 5,000-year civilization, we see a country that is undeniably a rising economic power, shaping global systems in new ways. It is essential, now more than ever, to promote communication and understanding between China and the world, to enhance cultural exchanges and build mutual trust. As President Xi has repeatedly emphasized, China supports principles of unity, inclusiveness, and peacefulness. These values should guide our collective efforts to build bridges rather than walls. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout my life, I have lived through many wars. I have witnessed the destruction that comes when humanity loses its way. But I have come to believe that if we must wage a war, then let it be a war against exclusion, a war against indignity, a war against poverty, and a war against human degradation. Let us choose cooperation over confrontation. Let us build bridges across cultures. And let us celebrate the extraordinary diversity that makes our world richer, wiser, and more human. Thank you.